Hello, good evening. This is Nanette Buchanan, and this is episode 3 of iPen Podcast, interviews and conversations with myself and Felice Reeves, my co-host. And if you missed the first 2 episodes, you guys got to catch up because we got a juicy couple here, and they are relationship coaches who are telling us when love works. So we're on the route of finding out, how do you find someone? How do you maintain the relationship? Where does it go from there? And we've got some opening questions that lingered from episode 2 that we're going to dive right into. So Felice, if you could repeat your question again, we're going to dive right in with our guests, Elitia and Cullen. We're going to dive right in. Their company is When Love Works, and they're relationship coaches. And if you guys don't know anything about relationships, please get yourself together. It's 2022. We don't even have to worry about what do I need to do. You got coaches that will tell you what you need to do. So get yourself together and tune in. So Felice, your question?
So my question was, and I'll just kind of recap, we were talking about self intentionality when it comes to dating. But then I asked the question, what about that person that is quote unquote thirsty and just has to have someone in their lives, or thinks that they have to have someone in their lives?
I think well, this is not going to be pretty. That is the most insulting thing in the world, because that person is basically saying anyone will do.
Yeah.
So they have reduced one of the most sacred things, one of the most beautiful things a human can be a part of, down into this artificial harmony, artificial. First of all, I can stop at artificial harmony. Artificial harmony is the enemy to the people that have done the work and have built that harmony, because they're the couples that did the work. They went through the long discussions, the arguments, and holding their temper back, and actually like doing the work, sweating between the lines, and coming at that real harmony is so much better than artificial harmony. Obviously, but yeah, that
it's insulting for one.
It's insulting.
And then 2, it may be because one person may think, okay, that's insulting just flat out. And it may be the person that comes across as thirsty really does have a true desire to be in relationship. They just don't have the tools. So it could be either or. It could be the person that wants a placeholder, which we're like, okay, that's harm. You're out here causing harm. You're literally just selecting people causing harm. And the people that truly want a partner, you just can't skip the process. Yes, I mean, you can. You can, but if you want a healthy relationship, then do the work.
And that's understood. Like what you're saying is relationships come in all shapes and sizes. Yeah. So if you want that ugly relationship, or you want that relationship with the pitfalls and the abyss of problems all the time, then be thirsty. Be so thirsty that you don't pay attention. Yeah. Be so thirsty that you don't give it time. Be so thirsty that you don't want to resolve some of the issues that could very well be a little thing of saying, I don't like that. And the person might say, oh, I thought you did. Just the little things. So if you want that, that quick relationship, or that, that feeling of, yeah, he loves me, but I don't really know if he really does, it's a momentary thing. Then, there's something, as Elitia has said, there's something wrong with you, and we need to fix that. We need to get to work on you before you work on your relationship. There's some other things. Now, one of the other questions came from one of our people in the chat, Miss Green. She asked, and can you just unmute yourself and just ask the question again?
You mentioned that you worked with couples and that did the work. I'm curious to know how many couples have you worked with that actually went through the entire process into courtship on from there and then made babies or had families after that?
Oh, that's what you want me to say. That's a beautiful question. Yes.
We
Some
know about last year's.
Last year. Okay, so let's go over the last 2 years pandemic spread. Over the pandemic spread, we had 2 people come to us single
Right.
with the potential, right? No, 3.
3.
Okay, 3 come to us because I'm talking about the ones that along the journey, not the totality. We had more than 3 clients, but 3 came to us who were single with the possibility of a person. They went through our conscious dating, selected their partner, because conscious dating, people can still have multiple partners, and then they do the work, get to one that they want to go into courtship with. Courtship is about a year. Sometimes within that year, we heard back from them, hey, so we want to make this thing official and we're getting engaged. And so now they come back and do the work as a couple. Courtship is only about a year. So at the end of dating, you either make a decision to go into courtship or you part in love. At the end of courtship, you make a decision to go into lifetime partnership or you part in love. So after the courtship, some of them part in love, but the 3 I'm talking about specifically, they decided to go into lifetime partnership. They worked with us single, then as a couple, then went into lifetime partnership. We went to their wedding, celebrated with them. And then 2 of the 3 are now, we've been to the 1 year. Well, we couldn't go to birthday parties, but one of them was long distance, Harlem, New York to France even.
Right. Oh, wow.
And so when you really want to do the work, you can do the work. And they have a son. And then the other ones were Connecticut, New York, Connecticut, and they have a daughter. So if you want to do the work, you can really do the work from single to couplehood into lifetime partnership. But again, there are clear markers that you can make a decision. If it's not going to work, don't force it.
Right.
We are not in the business of having those dysfunctionships just to celebrate anniversaries.
Exactly. And I like the idea that you use the term parted in love.
Yeah.
We teach
A
people.
lot of times in relationships, we find that we leave angry.
Oh, yeah.
We leave angry. We leave, with a whole thing of I just can't talk to them. I can't be around them, and I don't want to know. As a matter of fact, what near cliff is near them, so I can just give them the push, off the cliff. I don't want to be bothered with them. That part in love. I honestly, myself and my husband, we've had a long relationship. Prior to marriage, we knew each other in grammar school. He was my 8th grade. Will you go to the dance with me? And then we separated for years. He got married. I got married. We both got divorced. And then we got married again. And now we've been together 28, 29 years. So the thing is, we've been together a while. So we have those, hey, back in the day, do you remember such and such? Hey, what about this? Do you remember this? And we do a lot of that because we had grammar school relationship as well.
Right.
But one of the things that I was asked one time in one of our conversations was, hey, do you have someone that you can remember that you dated or that you went with that you thought was going to go somewhere and you're actually mad at them because either it didn't work or it didn't? Do you have couples that come to you with that situation? Because that's part of that baggage. That's part of that baggage that they're carrying, or they're looking for the new person to be the total opposite because they're carrying that baggage.
Well, yes, we do. I mean, that just seems like it's part of the human condition. But we have something for that human condition. When people come to us and they're in that space, we hit them over the head with the vetting process. And because I'm gonna tell you something, and if at the time I think they may feel like we're coming at them and we're coming for them, but we're not. It's probably the most just most grace we can extend to them because if you are lazy in your vetting, that means that you didn't take the time. I'm gonna use a job. I'm gonna use a job as a metaphor. If for years, let's say everybody else is doing drug tests and all kind of stuff, and you come in for 3 interviews and they meet your family and all that stuff because they really want to know who the company really wants to know who they're getting in the bed with.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say, and you happen to be that company that says, we're not going to do any of that. You apply for the job and they put you on the job. Mm-hmm. And then now you say, look, man, and then you get burned like 10 people in a row. And then you say, man, I'm not ever hiring Black people anymore because this, that, and the other. Or I'm not ever hiring women anymore because of this, that, and the other. And you go down the list and you so vetting is something that is on you. It's your responsibility to do the work, because if you don't, on the other side of that, you will be, I promise you, you will be that angry person that says, yeah, I don't mess with Black women. I don't mess with white men. I don't mess with this because you didn't do your vetting properly. And there's a myriad of different personalities. It's your responsibility to go through and first of all, know what works for you, and then also know how this person is actually showing up and how the two of you show up together.
So that's what our clients do, what we call a relationship profile. It's literally in our book pages 49 and 51. You have to do your profile first before you date. Yeah. Because you're doing, if you don't know what you need and what you desire in any specific way, then you're showing up on the date already setting up the other person for failure. Yeah. And the same if you're already a couple. If you haven't done an updated profile, then your partner is still guessing and you and your partner are creating conflict back and forth. And so the relationship profile is one of the tools that we help people accelerate that process so that you're equally matched in a better way and both needs are met. Remember, it's about mutual exchange. So you don't want people guessing about how to serve you in any of those areas when you could just do your profile.
The relationship is all about service.
Love it. Love it. All about service.
When you're serving, it's just like when you're in that steak restaurant and the person comes around with the thing. They don't put how much pepper they want on there. They actually
how much do you want? That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Well, it's a good break point for a 30.
You think so? You think we got that one wrapped up?
I think, but before we do break, how do people get in touch with you?
Excellent. You can find us at When Love Works Dynamically across all social media platforms, or just go to our website, wlwdynamically.com. That's wlwdynamically.com.
That's
okay. We're going to wrap up episode 3. And if you have not watched the episodes, make sure you tune in for episode 1, 2, and 3. We're getting ready to go to episode 4, which will all air in April. And I'm quite sure this is where the juice is going to be asked. So stay tuned.